Hello everyone, Attack Power here with Game 1 between Lesitte and Liszek here in the Steel Division 2 Season 11 League. Let's dive right in here to Orsha East. And on the left in the red, we have Lesitte playing 2nd Infantry Indian Head on Vanguard income. And on the right in the blue, we have Liszek playing 25th Hadostaly on Maverick income. So two divisions we haven't seen a ton of, although 25th has come up once or twice actually. It's 2nd Infantry we haven't seen very much of. I think it gets banned very often, although in my top 10 video I put it up there and some people disagreed that it still sat in the top. So interesting multiple viewpoints in this division, but let's dive into it here. So Recon tab, I mean, it's got a whole bunch of lots of nice stuff. Ranger Marauders with their bazookas, some snipers here, and we have the M8s for some early rushing. The infantry all loaded out with, of course, M1 Garands, very strong semi-automatic rifles. The division lacks a bit in the CQC department. You just have those engineers and some rangers there. He has 2 cards of rangers, though, A and B, double vetting both times. He's got the Rangers LMG as well. And, of course, rifles early and late for the other phases. Tanks, you do have a card of Rhinos, which is definitely nice. The M4A1 normal ones are meh at best, but the Rhinos definitely make this tank tab a little bit better than the average American tank tab. The support tab, really solid here. M3 Howitzer 105s, and you get the M4A3, so tons of 2K options here along with the 50 cals. AT tab, really strong. The M10s with their APCR. Hellcats for some nice zippy AT. M5 gun, phenomenal, and the M1 gun as well. AA tab, it's got Bofors. That's all you really need, and that does a good job. Arty tab, pretty fantastic, though. We're not seeing most of the options here. I don't know what he's doing. That's really annoying. I don't know what... I don't know where all the stronger stuff is, but we do see the 105 howitzer and the 107 mortar, both radioed, and the 203 off map. And finally, the air tab and American air tab, very strong, big boons. P47 with their AT and bombs here. We do see a P38 as well, and a P47 fighter. On the other side, 25th, we have a loaded recon tab here with tons of Lovasfelde Torak, which are nice infantry squads, truthfully, and then the Panzer IV J here, the recon tank. The infantry tab, obviously one of the focuses of the division. You have the Higvidash in A and B. Good to not see overwhelming on these because, again, I just feel they're a little bit cost inefficient. They're not terrible, but they're for 25 points, they don't hit as hard as they need to, and you can't vet them. Then we have Arkazoks in A as well. We have some Rohamarkazoks in A phase, and then Lovesh 25G both in A and B phase, and we see one more Lovesh there in B. Tank tab, Zirnis, of course, and you get the card of T-34s. No Panthers, though, so no C-phase Panthers. You can only bring them in C-phase. Sport tab, not anything exciting here. Just Schwalos as the Flamer Teens and some 50mm mortars. Let's see how good he can use those 50mm mortars, because they can be stupidly good if used well. AT tab, pretty solid. You do get some Hetzers, which is nice. The Stug SU-85 card, Pack 40s, and then the 40M is a nice little light AT gun. AA tab, really strong, Bofors, and some Flak 3688s. Arty tab, phenomenal. It's Hungarian Arty tab with their 149s, the best tube artillery in the game, and some airplane off map. Okay, whatever. And, sorry, there was he wrote something. And then the air tab, it's got some good units here. We have the Focke-Wulf F8, which is really nice. It's got medium resilience, solid fighter. You have the ME-210 with its rockets. This thing is phenomenal. Super cost efficient, can consistently kill things. One of the best rocket planes in the game. Ju-87, some light, cheap bombering, I should say. And then the Hejia 2 recon plane there. So definitely interesting matchup here. 25th has come up several times this season. I don't know. I don't really know if I'm missing the boat on this division. I'm not a big fan of it personally. I don't know. The lack of Panther Shreks, really annoying. The support tab is not great. I mean, you have the Zirnis, which do the support tab thing. So that's not really the issue per se. I just find its infantry to be kind of lacking at the end of the day. And, you know, that whole, it's just the phase locking thing too definitely really sucks. You can get run over by light armor in A phase really bad. All right, off we go here. And again, I'm not saying it's a bad division. Something about it just doesn't sit right with me. Can't say for I want to like it. I do like a lot of Hungarian divisions, but push here. Let's see. So nothing super aggressive down south. A lot in the center, of course, but nothing super aggressively in the center. On the other side, the nice thing with 25th is you do get to bring in a lot of Krupps, like transports, so you're not coming in like painfully slow, like Botan slow, which is definitely a plus. You're not beating out M8s and Marauders and such, but it's definitely nice. These Marauders probably could have pushed up to here and tried to get some bazooka kills. Might have been a little too passive from Lesitte. He is on Vanguard. We do a Vanguard Maverick matchup. Remember, at the end of the day, Maverick gets more points, like in the time that matters, right? By the end of the game, Vanguard evens it out. Might even have like 1 or 2 more points, but I mean, like 100 more points maybe, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Pretty sure it just ends up being equal, which it's definitely crappy. Like, that's not when you need them to be. Now, Rangers LMG now do have Commando, which is definitely nice. Makes their 2 machine guns a lot more deadly. 40 Emmos gets wiped out. Length Shorter Shot goes down to the Rangers here. They're much better armed with their 3 Thompsons and 2 Stens. 50 cal getting like triple teamed here. No, just double teamed. JU-87 trying to get through, but 50 cal is so strong these days in terms of AA. He should see it. And there it is. Nice little strike there from the JU-87. 50 cal unfortunately kept changing targets, like from the Hedja to the JU-87 and back and forth. So they didn't stop the JU-87. Losing that M5 gun really hurts. He only has 1 card and it's in A phase. And you might be thinking like, well, it's not like 25th has tons of armor. Yeah, but the Zirny is a problem. Like, he needs to be able to kill that. So losing his 2K AT assets could definitely be a big issue. Although the M5 gun's probably not his best tool against those anyway because it's soft. The M10s are your best tool for that. So the fight here on the hill going very well for Lesitte. Absolutely slapping right now. Down south, though, much bigger Hungarian force here. Higivadash, Langshoda-Shocks, Rohamacher-Zox. But there's the M3A1 tilting the tables here. And we see the 50 mil mortar as well going to town. These infantry like can't stand up because of this thing. Lovish 25G, solid infantry for sure. I mean, it's a nice chunky squad, double machine gun. You get some good submachine guns on there as well. Looks like the 50 cal, well, it's not a 50 cal. No wonder. Okay, it's an M1919. That's why it's not doing so hot. Why would you take the M1919? Why wouldn't you just take the 50 cal? It makes literally no sense to me. The 50 cal is so absurdly better. It's like an actual joke how much better it is than that. So this M3A1 is basically the only thing holding down the fort right now. Infantry getting absolutely shellacked. Ranger LMG are doing well until that 50 mil gets involved. Oh, ouch. Oh. God, these things seem so good until I use them, and then they're absolute trash. That's just because that's user error. Let's be real. That's all user error. Yeah, 50 mils are one of those things. If you can use them well, like, they are like almost oppressively good. They're not oppressively good because they're very hard to use well. But when used well, they are absolutely back-breaking for 15 points. You basically cannot win any infantry combat ever. These Lovash Feldoritok here, interesting to see so many of those. I mean, I guess if you're just going to bring Lovash anyway, you bring these because they have the recon and they're a little weaker than a Lovash squad. I think a Lovash squad's bigger. And has AT, so there's definitely a trade-off here, and they're 5 points cheaper, but recon is recon. I think people really underestimate the value of just having tons of recon around. Like, it does make the difference. Like, knowing exactly what your opponent's doing all the time and not having to hope that there's not a unit in whatever position you're pushing towards or something is a big deal. We see a little bit of a push here up north. There's only recon in this building right now, so the rifles early got to move forward to help hold that flag. And Liszek managing to hold the hill right now. It's a pretty big deal, but he needs to reinforce it. This journey's going to be kind of a brick wall here. None of this stuff can kill it. He already lost one of his M5 guns. We do see a howitzer coming in. It looks like it's going for the edge of this woods here. Could take out that Pack 40, but that's kind of like too deep to get at. See engineers coming in? Oh, he's going for this wood line. All right, that makes some sense. Although you could definitely like push here with... It's hard to not be in line of sight on the edge of this hill. You can see like your line of sight pokes out a lot. So honestly, an M3 half track would probably do plenty. Shvaloza gets pushed back. These are just terrible. Like, they're really bad. They're like really, really quite bad. Statistically, I don't know if they're actually worse than the Maxim, but on like in practice, they seem so much worse. Same price, same availability, but I don't know. Ooh, M1 getting caught out here by the Lovesh. It's pretty bad. He's going to lose that. Nice thing for the Hungarians, too, they have these straight pull rifles, which are actually a fair bit better than just a standard, like, bolt-action rifle. It is a noticeable difference in performance. Like, the Romanians have it as well, like with the Roscioli there. They have the same sort of straight pull rifle, and they just seem to perform noticeably better. More than the small statistical increase would imply. Like semi-automatic rifles, yeah, I mean, you would expect them to perform better. They're firing much faster. They statistically are noticeably stronger. Ooh, rifles early gets wiped out by the Ju-87. That's a lot of damage. It is easy to forget how much damage a Ju-87 have. I've had several comments lately that people complaining about this thing doing the big loop-de-loop. There's a reason these are so aggressively priced and have so much ammo, like so many bombs. Ooh, nice little P-38 rocket strike and kill there. That was very clean. Very nice. You notice that the rockets really didn't do that much. Like, this is not the ME-410. Is it 410 or 210? 210. This is not the ME-210 of the Hungarians where it's, like, stupid good. This thing's very meh in terms of its HE loadout. But getting to kill a plane as well, pretty big deal. But anyway, yeah, the semi-automatic rifles are clearly better. Like, you can very easily see them. Straight pulls, it's not as obvious, but my goodness, any unit with straight pull rifles does seem to perform a whole lot better. Ooh, M3 goes down to the PaK-40, but the PaK-40 revealing P-38, failing again. He bought 2 of those now. I honestly would have probably just tried to let the howitzer do the job there. Trying to get in a position that it can cover all of these woods at once. Higgity Dash are really awful at long range. Like kind of hilariously bad at long range. They appear to put out almost no damage whatsoever. Like, the Madsen is terrible. It's like truly terrible. Here's the ME-210 though. This thing will kill most targets easily. Ooh, but not if they get stopped first. Whoa, even with it so pinned down the rocket spread, it almost killed that howitzer. Was that literally just from 50 cals? No, there's got to be a 40 mil around here. Oh yeah, it's right there. We found it, folks. Ooh, if he loses that would be a huge kill there for Lesitte. Because these are just so good, so much value. Oh, wow! That sucks so hard for Liszek. I totally understand why he did it. I mean, you want to kill those howitzers. They're very strong, but that's rough. I don't think he expected that 40 mil Beaufort already be there. I don't think he had interacted with that yet. I don't think that showed up. I think it was the first time. And that ME-410 just like, if he would have fell back, this would have been fine, but unfortunately he fell back over all the 50 cals and stuff. And with the buff to the 50 cals, like, the damage they output is noticeable. Like, it matters. It used to not matter. It used to literally just be like, ha, we're shooting at you. That's funny. It was even worse than a German 20 mil, which is already a joke. Now they do damage. Journey up north now. Supporting. That's going to absolutely smash this infantry right here. Ooh. Schwalose is schwalosing. And now double Lovesh 25G as well. So Lesitte on the Vanguard here. He should be the one making the pushes, but right now it looks like he's struggling to me. I'm just not a fan of Vanguard. I just don't think you get enough points. And I understand the argument, like, early points are always more valuable than late points, but you're not getting that many points. That's the problem. You're just getting net less points than most other incomes. P-38, yeah, this thing is kind of embarrassing. I can see why nobody uses this. Like, those are really not good. Ooh, Journey goes down to the Marauder there. What a pickup. Very nice play there by Lesitte, leaving that there for this critical moment. Successfully pushing the infantry off the edge here, but now going to get hit by that Hetzer. I think, no, the M8s are alive, so he did successfully move those out of the way in time. M4A1 coming through. I'm not sure what that's going to do. We do see a mortar. More of these P-38s. How much are these things? They're 135 points? What? Holy crap. What are you buying these things for? There are versions of this that have bombs that do, like, lots of damage, and instead you bring this garbage? Oh my god. Okay, I have questions about that choice. I have serious questions why you would ever take that unit over the other big boomy bomber things in this match. I mean, you could bring the P-47 bomber in an A and have 2 of them. You don't need 3 at 135 points. It's one thing we were talking the ME-210 on the other side for 95 points. Fine. Get 3 of them, but, like, what? Oh my god, that's so bad. Like, that's really terrible. All right, this Ranger Marauder should absolutely smack this Schwalose. It should be like a 5-second evisceration. No, he deactivated... he deactivated the Thompson. Why would you do that? Wait, but seriously, why did he do that? The Willie P threw and missed. P-47 coming in for the bomb. Here, okay, a real bomber. We're in B phase, folks. There we go. And this isn't even like the heavy version of it. Yeah, this was really weird. Like, why would you turn the Thompson off? If something's within 100 meters, it's probably going to see anyway. That's really weird. He missed the opportunity to kill that Schwalose. Howitzer trying to hold the line. Does get a very nice hit there. Like, he would have killed this. This would have collapsed back. He might already have this flying back. No, probably not the infantry are there. But so now B phase. Lyssek's turn to strike back. And the truth is, Liszek is not taking that much damage to start. And now he has access to T-34s as well. And now the 50 mil is in to bully all of these infantry. Something just died. Oh, an infantry unit. Lovesh 25G over here. Went down. Yeah, Liszek's position down south really strong. Going for a Higgy dash to push around to try to get this flag. Reinforcements coming in. And now the 50 mil will make this fight completely unfair. Again, if used well. If used well. Zhirny dodging that building. The question is, did Liszek notice that Marauder doing that, or was this just happenstance that it just moved out of the way? M3 taking a heat shell. Will it dodge it? It will. But it's not moving. Sniper took out something. The second one likely will hit. Yes, it will. Oop, there it goes. Yeah, now we have double 50 mil. Well, if one works, do two. It's a very simple rule of thumb. Rifles early in. Does he have any rifles late in B phase? He does. Yeah, they're significantly better with their double machine gun. The 107 mortar hasn't been unloaded. He really needs to unload this and kill these things desperately. There could be no better use of this 107 mil right now than killing these freaking 50 mils. They will make every single infantry fight a losing fight. All right, P38. Double strike blind. He's just going for a pinning so his rifles late can get in. And I'm not sure why he's decided to call in rifles late for this forest fight. He has rangers. So this is a very strange choice. The other M5 gun coming in. Off map coming down, 105. It's not... It's very meh. It's a 105. It's not going to do a ton. It's going to pin the units down because that's what it always does. But it's not going to do a ton. I'm surprised he's not going to try to drive one of these Lovesh 25Gs through. It would fail with the M8 there, but I'm surprised he's not trying it. Also, I'm really surprised Liszek has not really called in much AA. This 40 mil, the first we're seeing here. P47 coming in for the big strike. What? So he saw these dudes fighting and blind struck over here in the blank? Okay, these are really odd choices right now. Lesitte making some very strange plays. And I'm not just chalking these up to, like, I have God vision. Like, the blind strike into the woods, okay, fine, you're trying to pin some stuff down, but he was currently fighting infantry. He could have very easily bombed those infantry that he was in the middle of fighting. And this wouldn't be happening, like he would have killed these. Off map coming down. Like I said, it's not, I mean, he might be able to capture, surrender to these engineers, but Zhirny now going after the M1919. M4A1 could try, but the Zhirny, it was turned before, so you could have gotten a shot off, but it's not going to now. M5 gun, though, in. That's a strong choice. I mean, the M1 gun would have, at this range, would have done okay. It wouldn't have been great, but it would have done all right. But now, Liszek getting back on the hill here. Still 13-11 for Lesitte. M4A1 finding some infantry to bully. Those Lovesh won't surrender because they have Fanatical, of course. M1919 goes down. 107 finally online. Going after, I'm not sure what. It appears something was there at some point and is now gone. Up north, flag recaptured. Lesitte back to a 14-10. We're about 5 minutes deep into B phase, and the income advantage will now should have now flipped into Liszek's advantage here. 149 in. That means, how did he see this ranger leader? Interesting. Oh, he probably shot. I would have to assume he shot a gun at some point. Engineers just holding down the fort here. Ooh, if they take out their leader, that'd be huge. Nope, don't get that lucky. Hellcat in to kill the Zhirny. Pack 40 is in though as well and takes it out. Oh, that is always the issue with those things. They die in one shot. And now the APCR is gone, so now we're down to the 130 millimeter penetration of the normal, and it still takes out the Zhirny, though, but dies itself. Oh, no. I thought you could get 2 cards of M5s, and I don't know why you wouldn't, honestly. All right, so double P38. Lesitte has learned his lesson. These are terrible, and the only way they're good is if you just use 2 of them. So Pack 40 is dead. Unfortunately, there are 8 more of those. 7, I should say. 7 more of those to deal with. P38s floating around would not suggest that. They are bad resilience. They take a lot of damage. Up north, the pushback is successful again. Lesitte's just going for it now, unsupported. If these were pinned down, I'd say go for it. Okay, he did change his mind. All right, there we go. Hellcat backing up. I'm not sure from what. The Hetzer? I mean, these Hellcats have APCR. Oh, they used them. Okay, that would explain that. Because they could do 2K APCR. Now, the Hetzer, though, it's going to be an issue. An M8 has no chance. It is on the run. And we're suffering some hill pressure here from the Hetzer. No crap there. P47 now in with AT. M8 goes down to what? I have no idea. What killed it? Oh, P47 fails its really key strike there. Now double T34. M8's trying to hop forward to take advantage. No, 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 no. Oh, and he attack moves, which means he's trying to turn, and down he goes. So now Liszek on a 13-11 has now turned it around for the time being. Rifles early, no chance against this horde of Higavadash and Lovesh, and looks like this flag about to fall any second. Do see another Bofors coming. This one survived the 149 assault. 40 mil coming in up north. Rangers clearing out the forest there for the time being. There's apparently a line of sight here. There it is. Yep, I see it now. Hellcat down. Hellcat's gonna be so strong, but you have to be like literally microing them only, or this happens. They just insta melt. Like you gotta be zipping them all over the map for them to be any good whatsoever. So we see 3 mortar strikes here in the town. It looks like he's hoping his singular rifles early carries the day here. Might be a little optimistic. Might be extremely optimistic. So 13-11. With this flag captured on the hill here. 105 coming in for an off map. There's only 2 infantry here. The Rangers are going to walk into it, it appears. 40 mil out in the open. Yeah, I was going to say, that's a real ballsy placement of that unit. I mean, there's Zirnies here. Like, any Zirnie, like right here on the hill, kills that. Yeah, I don't know why you would put that there. I mean, there are so many better places for that. I mean, over here, anywhere, over here. Even like back, like way back here would be better. Like, I know you want to get it up front, but it's a little much. Oh, and the Zirnie finds the 105, and down it goes. Insta kill there. Infantry trying to plug the gap here. Hellcats everywhere. There were 6 of them, and I think we're already down to these 2. He has used them very aggressively. Oh, that APCR missed. Gets a loader wounded. P47 tries to help finish it off. 1 down. This one still has an APCR shell left. ME210 gets a shot off, almost kills the Bofors, but it was falling back, so it stays alive. Double Bofors, though, should be able to take out this ME210. Wow, those have gotten, like, no value, and that's a pretty key unit in this division. Hetzer gets a crew killed from the Hellcat there. American APCR shell doing what it does. Absolutely slapping. Absolutely shellacking. Panzer IV, though, basically unchallenged here. This 57 mil, the only chance of killing it right now. Otherwise, it's just going to be able to bully absolutely everything. 2 149s now, going after the M1 gun and the support weapons here. Surprised he hasn't decided to pick off this 107. Maybe it hasn't fired in a while. As the M10s hold down the entire line. Hetzer is dead. Whole bunches of infantry coming in to try to respond to this. P38 coming in for a little rocket strike there. Hezia kind of running around. Literally didn't do anything. It was falling back, but that just represents how little damage this does normally. That's so bad. M5 gun getting spotted, firing its HE shell. So that probably means a 149 strike is coming soon enough. Sniper goes down to the Panzer IV. M1 gun spots the Panzer IV, gets a penetration. Looks like it might get another here. Unfortunately, it like moved to it unset to move. Still got a shot off and takes out the Panzer IV. Nice kill there. But now the artillery coming in for it. Infantry coming in to reinforce here on the hill. We're basically into C phase now. Hellcat versus T-34 here? Yes. Oh, all the wrong choices. All the wrong choices. Gets a pen, but okay, there we go. That's what you want to be doing with Hellcats. Fire, move, fire, maneuver, fire, maneuver. You'd never like actually throw down with an enemy tank. Big issue with 2nd Infantry is a lack of AT on their infantry, and he only brought 1 card of Ranger Marauders in A, which means he only has 3 bazookas along with the 3 bazookas on, or 2 bazookas on his leaders. He has no bazookas in the AT tab. So these rifles completely defenseless except for this rifle leader. If this thing dies, he is absolutely boned to this T-34. Schwalos versus rifles early. I think the rifles win. Yep, because Schwalos are really bad. 50 mm mortar, though, gonna punish that existence. Rifle leader does have that sniper, which is definitely nice. Unloads the Lobesh 25G early. Doesn't really hurt him, though. P-38 just kind of flying around right now. That's all they're really doing is flying around. They're certainly not hurting anything. P-47, okay, so Lesitte really loves, like, blind airstrikes. Like, he'll just bomb whatever. Like, has no information, is just throwing bomb strikes out. I definitely understand the concept, but now he's doing it a lot. And they've been almost completely ineffective. Hellcat goes down to the Zhirny on the hill, I believe. Just the HE, it looks like. Already coming down for that M5 gun. Oh, these Hungarian 149s. They're beautiful. Oh, they're beautiful. We do see a 105 in now. That's really ballsy to call that in and not just like immediately try to counter battery those 149s. I feel like if he decides to throw the 149s after this, it'll just be gone. And he's making the fundamental super mistake here of leaving your ammo next to your arty. So the second an arty shell comes down here and gets even close to this, this explodes and then kills the 105. It makes it like 10 times easier to kill the arty piece. P-47 gets blunted by the 40 mil here. So no dead tanks. And the fight up north, not going great. A lot of armor out here for Liszek, and we now have a 15-9. As Lesitte scrambles to get his line back together. Zhirny picking off some infantry easy. Flamethrowers coming in? Why didn't he just call those in at the beginning? It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to use those at any other point other than deployment. Back to a 14-10 with the town flag here grabbed. Just kidding. Back to a 15-9. Lesitte, like, easily game up this bottom flag. He's always under pressure. Like, that's kind of how it works. We see this strategy a lot of throwing away this forest down here. And I 100% understand the concept. I just never like it. I'm never comfortable with just, like, perma giving up a part of the map. Because, like, losing this, it's so resource intensive to get it back. Like, you're, like, out of it. Like, you're not getting back into this flag. If the opponent puts any amount of effort into holding it, you shouldn't be able to get back into it. Roha Markazoks doing quite well here. Not the greatest of CQC units, but doing fine. I'm surprised how aggressive Lesitte's being with his rifle leader, considering, again, it's one of his literal only responses to tanks at close range. Hellcat goes down. M1 gun is being tasked with a lot. Does take out the Hetzer, but the M4 still gets a shot off there. M4 versus the Shug. Oh, it misses. Ah, and the Sturming goes down. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Now the 149's tasked with weeding out the infantry here in the town. P-38 still flying around, trying to look cool. Oh, my goodness gracious. Those things are deadly. Now flag flips again. Liszek solidly on a 15-9 at the moment. Panzer IV is proven to be a bit of a brick wall here. The M10 and the M5 over here, the only chances of killing that. 105 returning. It seems so lame in comparison to the 149s. We see 2 M4s and an M10 coming in here for Lesitte. Sherman trying to hold off the tides right now. Only 11 minutes left at the current double tick. One thing I sometimes forget to appreciate is the beauty of this game. It's just like a good looking game. For how old it is, it looks fantastic. Like when you really think about how old this game is, it still looks great. Like it's still very visually appealing. I love the explosion. Like I love an arty explosion. It looks so cool. Not in the off-map form, but just in this nice, we just get to watch it. Look at it go. Here it comes. M4 going to go down to the Stug Su-85 here. Oh, it even bounced. Ouch. Like, that just looks cool. Yep, down the M4A1 goes. Watch one more time. Yeah, is it perfect? Nah, it's not, but that's okay. It's just a nice... It just looks good. Steel Division 3, let's do it. P-47 coming in to strike the Higgivy Dash. Will it happen? It will. Good strike there from the P-47. Did manage to recapture this flag, but the Higgy should win this fight against the Rifles late quite easily. There they go. 15-9 again. I'm trying to think, is 25th a counter to 2nd Infantry? My gut reaction is not yes. Really isn't. Although your Ziernies are definitely a tough nut for them to crack. But they have the M10s, which should do just fine against them. But like your Shermans can't really kill the Ziernies. But there's plenty of divisions that like 2nd Infantry has a hard time killing their tanks. I mean, let's be real. Shermans are Shermans. T-34 going to go down to the M1 gun there. Pretty important kill. He really needs to kill this armor off. It's really holding him up. His infantry should be technically, at least at range, they're definitely better. I mean, the Lovech 25G are solid infantry units, but are they better than a Rifles late? I don't think so. I do not think so. I mean, it's 2 machine guns and 7 rifles versus 2 machine guns and 9 semi-automatic rifles. Like, it's not even close, really. CQCY, the Higgies, he's got, like, Infinity Higgivadash, and the CQC of Lesitte is definitely very limited. Ofer gets a nice crit. P-38 gonna shoot the ground again. Oh my god, those are so bad. Like, they're literally horrible. I didn't realize how absolutely terrible they were. Oh my god. It's like a useless plane. Like, what's the point of having it even? Holy crap. For 135 points. Like, I thought it was just like a reasonably price, like, you know, maybe like 100 points, 95, 100, 105, 135 points for that literal flying trash can. Like, oh my god. But the heat shell from the 105 finds that Panzer IV. It's a ballsy fight to take. You always are rolling the dice when you go up against a heat weapon like this. Sometimes they miss like 100 feet to the right, and other times they land right away, and it's just like so heartbreaking because it's an insta kill because they do 10 damage. So it's really backbreaking. Marauder, gonna get its bazooka off, kills another infantry unit. This Marauder is so much value, but now it's spotted. Oh no, Marauder, no. Run, Ranger, run. Don't let yourself die like this, although the Lovech is putting out so little damage. It's gonna be a while. He'll probably, like, at least half his ammo by the time he even kills that thing. Gun jam on the M4. This Stug SU-85, this might be the most impressive SU-85 I've ever seen, and it's, of course, for the Axis and not the Allies, which is hilarious. Hashtag Soviet suffers. SU-85 still takes out the M10 and gun jam the N4A1. The only SU-85 that's good is the Axis one. Rangers getting unloaded there. Journey putting down some heat shell. That M4A1 needs to run for the hills. There it is. That could be the one. The homing heat rocket. Boom, down the M4 goes. Oh, and that's the issue there. That's why I hate Shermans. I really just don't like them. I hate playing against them because I always feel like their machine guns shred everything. But then when I use them, I'm like, these are terrible. I'm like, I want my tank to kill tanks. But truly, Shermans are for killing infantry. They are not for killing tanks. They have no tank killing power. They're kind of embarrassing. They can kill Panzer IVs, okay. They do less good, even less okay against Stugs. And they're kind of just bad against everything else. But if it's a soft target, my goodness gracious, you might as well just, like, cut the enemy in half. There's those Lovech. Yeah, they are chunky 11 men, but they're not any chunkier, I guess, than these guys, because they have 11 men usually, right? Yeah, they're 11 men. No, they're 12, actually. These are 12. I can count. I swear, maybe. These guys have the AT, though. So, you know, it's 5 points in AT versus recon. That could go either way. It really depends on what your priority is. In Higgivadash, in Hadostaly, I do feel like the AT is pretty important, honestly. Because you don't have, like I said, you don't have Panzerschrecks, so you're like really reliant on your infantry having some form of AT. Rifle leader has really no chance the second these Higgies get in there. Rifles early, wipe out those Higgies. Should capture that flag back. I mean, Lesitte is turning things around a little bit here. He hasn't lost any of his Air Force. That's the thing, too. He's been doing a lot of these really aggressive airstrikes, and yet somehow has not lost any of his Air Force. 16-8 now all of a sudden. See the flag on the hill, the town recaptured, and this middle flag as well. Back to a double tick here for Liszek. Yeah, I feel like probably some more AA is needed, like one here to kind of cover both middle and upper, the upper flank. 50 mortar going after that Major Marauder. Those things have been absolute heroes. This Lovech, no chance. Going to lose him this flag here. Whoa, whoa, we had a triple tick, quadruple tick for a second there. Oh, a little push down south here successful. So the Higgies swing in. Flag captured back, but the Zhirny, kind of a brick wall here. Just kidding. Opened my mouth, and this M1 gun punished me for it. M1 guns are pretty solid. They don't have the highest penetration, but it's that really fast attack rate, the rate of fire that makes them pretty effective. They also actually have very high accuracy. Do go down, though, to the Lovech 25G. Not sure where these 50 mils are going. That's going to die. What are these 149s doing? I think they were out of ammo. Now they're firing again. Kind of surprised he hasn't decided to just try to kill off this 105. Feel like he very easily could. Oh my god, didn't kill anyone. This unit is awful. It's awful. And it's so expensively awful. Like, why? Why did he bring that in his deck? I feel like Lesitte was like, oh, let's just try this. This might be really good. It's not. It's so terrible. It's embarrassing. Oh, no, the M10's wasting its precious APCR on transports. Oh, big micro mistake there. $40 mil chunking up some rifles there. 105, though, finds it. Oh, it misses. Oof. Although the 40 mil is not going to get away in time. This 105 should be able to eat this up. They'd be pretty big. It'd allow Lesitte's pretty large air force to kind of do it at once in the north. Bunch of the infantry coming in now. Back to a 13-11. Liszek's still in a pretty good advantage here, to be sure, and only 17 minutes remaining. The 149's doing what they do, pinning down everything with their raw power. He crushing. Rifles late should be able to win this pretty easily. They are much better load. Now we see a nice push here from Lesitte going for it. Definitely improve. Yep. At this point in the game, you can't be afraid of throwing like some infantry forward and trying to find a gap somewhere, especially when you're behind. If you're ahead, you don't need to be doing this, but if you're behind, you gotta be finding holes in the opponent's line. And if you feel like you're trading well, then there's no reason not to. All right, the Higgies are getting pretty close. And I mean, truly, look at Liszek is a little thin. It's not like he's flush with troops, but he does have these 149 still. That's a lot of value that continues to build for him, and he's finally counter-battering, but there was a howitzer here, and it's now dead. The Lovech 25G found it, so he needs to retask this arty piece. The infantry all pinned down from those 149s, and the Lovech 25G continue to pin them back down. For some reason, Lesitte's not falling them back to like let them regain composure. Regain their suppression. Yeah, the whole fanatical thing, it is a very good trait. I saw at some point in like on Reddit or something someone complaining that fanatical was kind of useless, but that's just not true. Like it really isn't. It's one of those traits you don't notice how good it is until you're in a desperate situation or you're like trying to figure out why you can't seem to trade well against your opponent. Well, if you can't surrender infantry, they stick around for so long. And especially chunky ones, like these 12 men, they're a little chunkier than usual. Like, they really stick around, and it's annoying, and you have to dig every single one out and spend the time shooting down every single infantry unit. That's a lot of extra time and resources to kill those units off. And when you get fanatical, like, in piles like that, in, like, the Lovech 25G, it's annoying. Like, it is very time-consuming and does actually cause a lot of issues a lot of times. Lesitte picking up a 13-11 for the first time since, the beginning of B phase here. Is he turning it around? I don't know. I mean, he's got reinforcements pouring in here to try to hold this. He's made good progress there. The Higgividash had this flag, now lost it again. Zhirny finding the M4A1. Easy win for it. Heat shell lands. Oh, heat shell comes up short. Ooh. But yeah, I mean, fanatical is strong. Now, the question then becomes, like, 12th SS is all fanatical. Why isn't that division cracked? Well, The issue with that division is everything's inefficient. Like, everything you buy in that division is expensive AF. There's no cheap anything. No cheap infantry, no cheap armor, no cheap anything. You have some SBWs. You get armored car rush. Great. There's plenty of divisions that do that and then stack on super efficient infantry and good armor choices and things like that on top of that. So, like, it's hard to ever pick that division anymore because there's divisions that do the same thing just way more efficiently. And since that's divisions like the highlight of Fanatical, like, you don't see it much. I mean, 43rd Reserve has their Strafniki as well, and those are really hard to kill. Like, it's really annoying. The reason that division can play so little infantry and still be a pain in the butt is because its infantry don't surrender. Surrendering is just such a core mechanic of the game and such a core way of actually killing off infantry. And since this is an infantry meta, not being able to surrender infantry is absolutely debilitating and severely slows down your ability to kill off infantry and stuff. Now, the Journey going to be coming up against this M10. That's not a great fight. This is the fight that the Journey needs to fear, is coming up against M10s. It's really the only unit that actually is a danger for it. And especially if the M10 is sitting outside of range here, which it will. I mean, even its normal AP shell sits outside of the range. Already coming after the Journey? Or just a happen? No, it is. It's going after the Journey. 149 failed to kill off this 105, and he really just didn't put enough effort into it. Kind of gave up after one barrage. Journey's everywhere, though, making it tough. T-34 as well here. And just piles of infantry coming in to plug this hole. Back to a 12-12. 12 minutes remaining here. Yep, Journey already dead to the M10. Air Force, here it comes. Alpha Strike coming in. P-47. It was actually the P-47 that killed this Journey, not even the M10. Seems weird. Wow, the P-38 actually killed something. Holy crap. Wow. That's 135 points well spent. Kind of weird to bring the P-47 in when you had the M10 there about to do the job. Like, he could have sat it right here and easily killed that Journey because it would have been out of heat shell range. So, kind of weird. Kind of weird to see him do that. Ooh, Otan goes down to the rifles late there. It's easy to forget how much damage those semi-automatic rifles put out. It's so much more than a normal gun, normal rifle. Still 12-12, and all Liszek has to do is hold on. I mean, Lesitte's the one under pressure here. Once again, those infantry lacking AT going to absolutely crush him here. This T-34 is untouchable. I mean, there's nothing here that can kill it. Like, literally nothing. Except for this M5 gun, if it leaves the forest, which it doesn't need to. Yeah, I strongly disagree with Lesitte's choice and essentially not bring bazookas in the deck. Like, I feel like the two Ranger Marauder cards are an absolute must in this division, and the sniper is completely unnecessary. Like, you have snipers on your leaders. Like, why waste your time? And two-man sniper teams these days are very underwhelming. There's so many snipers in the game and so many chunky squads of infantry that can tank on a sniper for a long time. A two-man sniper team just doesn't do it the way it used to. They used to be so good. Back in the day, like, the Soviets had such an advantage having, like, tons of two-man sniper teams. It was, and like, the Axis really didn't have a ton of snipers. Like, a couple unique divisions. First Ski Jaeger, for example. 28th Jaeger. These divisions were special and had snipers, and it was actually pretty abnormal for the Axis divisions to have snipers. And Soviet divisions had them plentifully. They had lots of them. Like, think 44th, 26th? Yeah, 26th. Strelky has like 2 or 3 cards of them. I'm pretty sure 44th does too. Or, most of the Strelky divisions, they had tons of snipers. And back then it was really strong. And like, one of the draws of playing a Soviet division was having those snipers because they were so effective. Nowadays, a two-man sniper team just kind of melts and dies. The infantry are too big and chunky, and there's too many other snipers running around, and they're just basically full infantry squads with a sniper on them. So I don't agree with unless the division has nothing better to take in the recon tab, like, I would certainly take them over like just a two-man recon team or like the 4-man recon team or just like lame whatever stuff that you're just bringing for the sake of it. Yeah, take snipers then. But if you have other options like another card of Ranger Marauders, I would 100% take that. Now, I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. Sure. If I'm not, you don't have to say anything. But yeah, if there's only one card of Ranger Marauders, I'm sorry I was wrong, and I understand why he did that. but I'm going to look after this game, and I feel pretty good that I'll be right about it. Because this is one of the only divisions with ranged marauders, and I'm quite confident there were 2 of them. So Journey goes down, though. M10 doing what it does. These things, again, so key to the game here. Oh, 50 mil goes down. I mean, they only do have 500 meter range, so that's probably why he got it up so aggressively. Rifles doing their job, though. Rifles 8 are very strong. There's no arguing that. The 149 is making it tough to push forward, though. Things have been blasting. Liszek doing a nice job of keeping these working. Only 8 minutes left, and things not looking good here for Lesitte. Stug takes a penetration. M10's here. M10 Stug trade. The SU-85. Nice. I mean, it's pretty good. It already took out the M4A1. I mean, if you're tank 2 for 1s, that's really strong. Oof. His own 105 pinned down his ranger and caused him to lose that flag. Liszek back on a 14-10 as he recaptures the north definitively here. And, you know, 25th Hadostaly has a lot better long game. Has a lot better long game in an aggressive income because it's got way more cheap infantry. I mean, 2nd Infantry, you're kind of relying on 25 and 30 point units in C phase, while 25th Hadostaly can rely on 20 point infantry that are pretty solid 20 point infantry. So it's really tough to aggressive income fight this. You know, if you're playing a longer income, sure. I mean, this division kind of runs out of steam because you're calling in 20-point infantry when your opponent then calls in 30-point infantry and can call in equivalent numbers of them. You know, things don't go nearly as well. So it's kind of the issue here. I mean, the south has been basically cleared out. Liszek kind of just sent a big attack forward and lost most of his units. It's not the end of the world. Like, it's not a huge deal. I mean, if Lesitte pushes hard down here, he could pick up 2 flags, bring it up to a 14-10. That's still not doing it for him. Like, he needs more than that. Oh, his own 105 killed his rifles. Oh, Lesitte needs to be better on his minority micro. It's several times now it has cost him fights. Oof. The arty leader here getting attacked by the M10. Would have loved to see that back here, making these 149s even worse. Like, I should say even better, but even worse for him, for Lesitte. P-47 did get its rockets off. I don't see what it hit. I think there was a T-34 up here, so probably that. I mean, Lesitte's recaptured the hill, but I don't get a sense that Liszek is anywhere near just, like, shattering. Yeah, at this point, essentially, what Lesitte is banking on is that he traded way better than Liszek, and at some point, Liszek just collapses. Like, they're just a part of his line absolutely disintegrates because no troops have come to it in a long time, and everything has died, essentially, and, like, 1 infantry dies, and you just push. Okay, this could be the day the P-38 finally dies. Nope, I guess not. I mean, they are fast. There's no question of that. They don't have bad resilience, but man, this thing just... Nope. You shall not die. Now the infantry pushing back for Lesitte, trying to recapture the flags he had briefly caught. I'm starting to understand why Liszek didn't counter battery the Lesitte's arty, because Lesitte's arty has done just as much damage to him as it has done to Liszek. It's so unfortunate. Sometimes it just goes down that way, you know? Rifles going down, infantry trading back and forth. P-47 floating around the background, changes targets, flying into the 40 mil again. I thought the Beaufort was pinned. I was confused how, but no, that's not what it is. P-47 still gets its bomb off, but basically misses, reducing the damage dramatically. 40 mil is too close to the hill. Just remember, guys, like, yeah, there we go. He's backing it up. AA does have line of sight. Like, it's got to be able to see. So, like, if we zoom down here quick, like, when he's this close to the hill, you notice how he can't see anymore? He needs to back up to open up the sky so he can see. So, like, it does actually matter. Now, you can't really, like, in the middle of a game, go down and zoom in and say, be like, is the AA got at line of sight. Like, you kind of have to, like, take it. That's why you don't put, like, AA, like, right behind a forest or something, because it technically can't see. And that's why you don't often see players putting, like, AA in green forest and stuff, because it does cause weird situations where you can't see stuff. Even yellow forest can kind of mess things up. You got to just be careful around hills and buildings as well. If they block the line of sight into the sky, they don't shoot. They can't see anymore. And all of a sudden, Lisitte's aggressive push here is gathering him some flags, but it is losing him a lot of troops. M4A1's pouring in, though. SU-85 M10 throwing down. SU-85 gets the first shot. It is double star, so it's firing really quite fast. And APCR was left on, and down the M10 goes. Technically, there the APCR is better because the crit... He has no chance of killing it with AP in time, so the crit from the APCR might be something really good. But now that flag falls back to a 12-12 again. Arkansas are 20 points, right? Yep. Arkansas are so good because they're 20 points. Like, this is just a normal... Like, this is just a Pioneer squad, and most of the Pioneer squads are 25 points. This one's 20. The main reason is there's no LMG on this thing, so I guess that's the reason for the point difference, but it's still a 13-man squad. Like, that's a chunky Pioneer squad. Like, that can actually take a grenade hit and walk away. It's one of those weird pricing things. I think it's because the Hungarians used to be, like, meh, you know, just not that great. Like, their thing was basically their Tyrannies and the... Basically, Tyrans and their fat infantry squads. Like, that was their whole gimmick. It still kind of is their gimmick, but they've gotten stronger in a lot of other aspects, i.e. first and second Penselos. And I get it. The history buff in me chafes as well. Acting like the Hungarians were like these super divisions of troops. They certainly were not. At least not historic, you know, based on their historical performance. Were Hungarians great soldiers individually? Very well, they could have been. I don't know. I'm not that well versed in it. But certainly if we're just looking from a combat success rate, the Hungarians were not a successful army in World War II at all. And I strongly doubt the first and second Penselos in real life had anywhere near the success that they have in the game. But it's the game, you know, it's not, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Because, again, if you go too deep into the historical accuracy argument, it ends up being, well, you know, this thing, bro, you know, then you have things breaking down and then historical mechanic rate and all that, you know, that kind of stuff, logistics and so on and so forth. You get into this whole thing where it's not even a game anymore. You might as well just go play a slow simulation game. And that's not what this is. You know, it just isn't. That's just not what this is. P-47 still successfully getting past the 40 mil. I'm surprised after all this time Liszek has not just committed to a second Bofors in the center. It seems kind of hilarious that he just refuses to do that. Ooh, Zirny getting a first heat shot. Baba Booey. And an M4A1 coming in with its gun jammed. Because why not? SU-85 trying to get some APCR on target there. Another heat shell flying. It's always fun to watch things. They're so slow. M4 is on the run. We have a 13-11 now for Lesitte, but it is far too late. This game is most definitely over. So GG to Lesitte and very GG's to Liszek here, picking up game 1 using 25th against 2nd Infantry, which, I mean, technically speaking, if you're going to make a tier list, 2nd Infantry is definitely higher than 25th, but maybe the arguments from some of the commenters that 2nd Infantry is not all it used to be, maybe it's accurate these days. I mean, I think part of the issue is their infantry, while good, just didn't keep up with the kind of absurd infantry scaling we've had recently, and that's a lot of divisions, right? I mean, we all know that. That's a lot of divisions these days that they just didn't keep up with the kind of power creep we got going on right now with infantry. Once that gets balanced out, which I think it will be, I definitely think this division can actually just get better from other divisions getting worse. But we see pretty even trades here. Lesitte down a little bit, 42-10 to 43-80. You know, did anything do here do awesome? I mean, there's plenty of things that got some good kills. It's not like they didn't do anything. It's not like he has tons of units like barely getting any kills. Again, I would have killed that 105, honestly. I would have thrown at least 2 or 3 barrages of the double 149s at. I think that would have been very much worth it. Lovich 25Ds, Journey's doing awesome. Hetzers are, Hetzers are Hetzers. 149. Wow, that's not as many as I was expecting. I was expecting a long list of 149 kills, but we're really not seeing it, actually. Kind of surprising. But if you guys enjoyed that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider supporting over on Patreon. Thank you to all current and past Patreons. Your support really means a lot. Thanks a bunch, guys, and have a fantastic day.